Identifying as a Sigma male often reveals a unique set of traits and behaviors that set one apart from conventional societal norms. If you find yourself gravitating toward independence and solitude, favoring deep, meaningful connections over shallow interactions, you may embody the Sigma male archetype. Sigma males typically thrive in intellectual endeavors, placing a premium on introspection and personal development rather than seeking external validation from others. This distinctive focus on self-improvement and understanding can lead to a fulfilling, albeit unconventional, lifestyle. Their strong sense of individuality often manifests in a reluctance to conform to societal expectations, and they frequently challenge established norms, questioning authority when necessary. This drive for autonomy not only shapes their interactions with others, but also informs their worldview, allowing them to carve out a unique path in life. Sigma males often find themselves in leadership roles naturally, not by overtly asserting dominance, but by leading through example and integrity. Their quiet confidence allows them to navigate various social situations with ease, valuing competence over charisma. Ultimately, embracing these traits can provide insight into your interactions and broader perspective, helping you determine whether you resonate with the Sigma male identity. Number 1. Late one night, while driving through a desolate rural area, I noticed a car tailing me persistently. No matter how many twists and turns I took, it remained right behind me, its headlights a relentless beacon in my rearview mirror. My pulse quickened as I took a sharp turn into a dark alley, desperately hoping to shake the vehicle. To my horror, the car halted at the alley's entrance and switched off its lights, cloaking itself in darkness. I held my breath, heart racing, as I strained to glimpse the driver's silhouette. For what felt like an eternity, time stood still. Finally, the car revved its engine and sped off into the night. I was left trembling, plagued by a mix of relief and dread. The experience lingered in my mind, shrouded in uncertainty and unanswered questions. Who was that person? What were their intentions? In the weeks that followed, I found myself haunted by a newfound wariness of lonely roads and an acute awareness of the shadows lurking just beyond the streetlights, each darkness becoming a potential hiding place for unseen threats. Number 2. During a weekend getaway in a quaint, small town, I stumbled upon whispers of an age-old legend that had captivated the locals for generations. Intrigued, I sought out the elders, who recounted eerie tales of mysterious happenings in the surrounding woods, their voices barely above a whisper, as if the very mention of these events could invoke their presence. Compelled by curiosity, I ventured into the dense forest, following vague directions that felt both exhilarating and unsettling. As dusk settled, the atmosphere thickened with anticipation. The rustling leaves seemed to echo the ghosts of stories past. Just when I considered turning back, I discovered a clearing adorned with weathered stones, remnants of an ancient ritual site that confirmed the truth behind the town's whispered legends. Standing amidst the stones, I was struck by a mix of awe and trepidation, realizing that some legends hold more than mere fiction. They capture the essence of history intertwined with the mysteries that linger in forgotten places. Number 3. The thrill of exploration drew me and my friends deep into the woods one sunny afternoon, where we stumbled upon an old, abandoned cabin that seemed to emerge from the pages of a ghost story. The structure, cloaked in ivy and surrounded by thick underbrush, exuded an air of forgotten times, its creaking boards whispering tales of those who once called it home. Our adventurous spirits ignited, we ventured inside, discovering an attic laden with dust-covered trunks and journals worn with age. Among the forgotten relics, a mysterious map captured our attention, revealing hidden paths and landmarks lost to time. The thrill of our discovery mixed with a touch of apprehension as we pondered the secrets that lay beyond the forest's tranquil facade. With each turn of the map, we felt the weight of history urging us onward, a beckoning call to unearth the stories buried within the very ground we stood on. The cabin became more than just an old structure. It transformed into a portal to the past, igniting our collective determination to uncover its hidden truths. Number 4. In the crumbling remains of a once grand estate on the outskirts of town, a shrouded figure emerged from the shadows, casting a ghostly presence over the dilapidated structure. As my friends and I approached cautiously, the figure seemed to flicker in the moonlight, blurring the lines between reality and imagination. Drawn by an irresistible blend of curiosity and dread, we traversed the estate's decaying corridors, uncovering fragments of lives that had long been intertwined with its opulent history. Among the debris and dust, we stumbled upon a weathered journal filled with cryptic notes and faded sketches, hinting at a narrative that had been obscured by the passage of time. The atmosphere grew heavier as we pieced together glimpses of the past, and an inexplicable sensation of being watched crept over us. Each discovery deepened the haunting sense that the estate still held its secrets close, reminding us of the mysteries that linger in forgotten places, where echoes of history refuse to fade away. Number 5. One moonlit night, while spending time at a secluded cabin deep in the woods, the tranquil stillness was abruptly shattered by whispers that seemed to weave through the trees, carrying tales of long-buried secrets. Gathered around a crackling fire, my friends and I exchanged stories of the cabin's eerie past, each tale more chilling than the last, steeped in superstition and whispered warnings. As the hours passed, the air grew thick with an electric anticipation. Every rustle of leaves felt laden with the presence of unseen watchers. Just as we prepared to turn in for the night, a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness, its form unsettling yet oddly familiar. We held our breath as it vanished into the night, leaving us in a whirlwind of confusion and curiosity. The encounter raised more questions than it answered, leaving us to ponder the reality of the legends that had drawn us to this secluded haven. What stories did the cabin truly hold, and how many souls had walked its floors before us? Number 6. In the stillness of the night, a distant cry for help broke the silence, echoing from a direction that I instinctively knew was devoid of trails or campsites. The urgency in the voice sent chills down my spine, igniting an internal battle between caution and the compelling need to assist someone in distress. Against my better judgment, I ventured deeper into the uncharted terrain, the cries guiding me further into the dark embrace of the forest. Each step amplified the tension within me, my heart racing as I drew closer to the source. Just as dawn began to break, casting a pale light over the landscape, I stumbled upon a forgotten campsite, its remnants scattered like echoes of a time long gone. The cries had faded, leaving behind an unsettling stillness. I was left haunted by the unanswered questions that lingered in the morning light, a poignant reminder of the mysteries that can vanish as the sun rises, leaving only the shadows of their presence behind. Number 7. Working the night shift at our town's lone diner often meant solitude, but one evening took an eerie turn. I noticed a man seated in a booth, his intense gaze fixed on me as he sipped his coffee with an unsettling calm. The diner was starkly empty, amplifying the sense of unease that settled over me like a heavy cloak. As I approached to offer a refill, his penetrating stare felt like a weight, each glance revealing nothing but an inscrutable expression. The minutes stretched, each second thick with unspoken tension, and I couldn't shake the feeling that he was observing my every move, his silence juxtaposing the usual late-night chatter. The encounter lingered in my mind long after my shift ended, a haunting reminder of the peculiar moments that can unfold in the quietest of settings. Who was he? And what lay behind those eyes? It became a puzzle that refused to be solved, a reminder of the mysteries that can unravel in the twilight hours. Number 8. When it comes to rules, I view them more as suggestions than absolute mandates. This pragmatic skepticism guides my approach. I tend to question the rationale behind any guideline presented to me. If the reasoning holds water, I can comply, but if a rule seems arbitrary or counterproductive, I'm not afraid to challenge or adapt it. This mindset sets me apart from those who strictly adhere to societal norms, often leading to friction with authority figures who may perceive my approach as defiance. I believe in optimizing outcomes and finding solutions that work best for the situation at hand. Whether navigating the structured environments of work or societal expectations in daily life, my willingness to question the status quo reflects my independent thinking. In my view, efficiency and effectiveness take precedence over blind obedience, underscoring my commitment to authenticity and rationality, even if it puts me at odds with others who prefer to conform. Number 9. At social gatherings, my tendency to slip away without notice often raises eyebrows among friends. When my social energy dwindles, I find myself gravitating toward a quiet exit, unbothered by the need for grand farewells. While some interpret this behavior as aloofness or disinterest for me, it's simply a preference for understated departures. This inclination extends beyond parties. I sometimes retreat from social interactions for days, diving into personal projects or taking time to recharge, although friends may find my disappearing acts perplexing. Those who know me well understand that it's not rudeness but a reflection of my need for solitude and authenticity. I cherish meaningful connections over social obligations, and once I've reached my limit, prolonged goodbyes feel unnecessary. This instinct to vanish quietly underscores my independent nature, allowing me to prioritize personal well-being while maintaining a commitment to genuine relationships free from societal pressures. Number 10. Trends rarely dictate my choices. Instead, I remain anchored in my own preferences and values. While many chase fleeting fads, I perceive trends as superficial, opting to follow a path aligned with my convictions and practical needs. Whether it involves fashion, technology, or lifestyle, my decisions stem from what resonates with me, rather than what's currently popular. This independent mindset often leaves others puzzled by my choices, as I prioritize authenticity and personal satisfaction over conformity. I'm open to new developments and cultural shifts, but I approach them with a critical lens, assessing their relevance to my life. This steadfast resistance to trend chasing extends beyond material choices. It influences my beliefs and opinions, which I form based on research and personal experiences rather than social media buzz. My commitment to staying true to myself reflects my confidence in making independent decisions, even when it diverges from the crowd. Number 11. My mind often drifts into a realm of deep contemplation, a whirlwind of ideas, reflections, and plans swirling beneath an outwardly calm facade. This introspective nature sets me apart. I find myself analyzing past events, strategizing for the future, or delving into new concepts, often losing track of my surroundings. While some may view my tendency to get lost in thought as aloofness, for me, this mental space is where creativity and analysis flourish. I appreciate the quietude it offers, allowing me to reflect before making decisions. Although this focus may lead to occasional missed cues or distracted moments, it is essential for my understanding of the world and myself. I thrive in meaningful conversations over trivial exchanges, as I value depth and authenticity in interactions. Others might find me mysterious or difficult to read, yet my inner dialogue is a vital part of my journey towards self-awareness and insight. Number 12. Natural leadership flows through me, yet I shy away from the spotlight. My inclination to lead stems not from a desire for recognition, but from a genuine commitment to getting things done effectively. Instead of seeking accolades, I prefer to guide by example, quietly stepping up when needed and empowering those around me. I find fulfillment in working behind the scenes, focused on collaboration and shared achievements rather than individual glory. This leadership style can often be misconstrued, as many equate leadership with assertiveness and charisma. However, my approach highlights competence and integrity, showcasing that true leadership is about fostering a collective effort rather than chasing personal gain. I value results and team dynamics over hierarchical recognition, embracing a philosophy that elevates contribution above self-interest. This aversion to the limelight reflects my Sigma traits, prioritizing effectiveness and the betterment of the group over the allure of personal status. Number 13. Brutal honesty defines my character, as I prioritize authenticity over social niceties. When someone seeks my opinion, I provide straightforward feedback, unfiltered and devoid of sugarcoating. While my candor is appreciated by some, others may find it jarring or difficult to hear. I hold honesty as paramount. Extending this principle to myself, I readily acknowledge my mistakes and flaws, believing that truthfulness is essential for genuine relationships and personal growth. My directness can occasionally create tension in environments where diplomacy is preferred, but my integrity earns respect from those who value sincerity. I aim to foster open communication and clear understanding, avoiding the misunderstandings that often accompany evasive language. My commitment to honesty isn't about harshness, but rather about cultivating genuine connections based on mutual respect and clarity. This trait encapsulates my Sigma identity, emphasizing the importance of truth in both personal and interpersonal dynamics. Number 14. Superficial chatter leaves me feeling disinterested. whether it's office gossip or idle discussions about weekend plans. I prefer engaging in meaningful conversations that stimulate my mind or expand my knowledge. Small talk feels insincere, and I often find myself steering conversations towards deeper, more substantial topics. When confronted with office gossip, I tend to deflect or change the subject, perceiving such exchanges as unproductive and sometimes harmful. My aversion to superficial communication can make me appear distant or unapproachable, though it stems from a desire for authentic connections. I value efficiency in dialogue, choosing to focus on ideas and solutions rather than participating in the usual social rituals. While some may view my disdain for small talk as standoffishness, those who know me appreciate my commitment to depth and substance in relationships. This preference underscores my Sigma nature, prioritizing authenticity and meaningful interactions over fleeting social formalities. Number 15. Social hierarchies have little influence over my interactions. I view them as arbitrary and constraining. While I understand the rules of engagement, I see no value in competing for status or conforming to established roles. This independence allows me to navigate various social circles without feeling the need to fully integrate into any. At work, I respect authority when it's warranted, but feel equally comfortable challenging norms and engaging with colleagues at all levels. My interactions are rooted in merit and authenticity rather than status or rank, enabling me to build genuine connections. This refusal to adhere to traditional hierarchies can unsettle those who thrive on conformity, but for me, it's about staying true to my values and principles. I prioritize character and actions over social standing, allowing my independent spirit to define my Sigma identity. In doing so, I forge my own path, valuing integrity and authenticity above societal expectations. Number 16. On a particularly stormy night, I found myself huddled in a small, rustic cabin, the wind howling outside like a restless spirit. The flickering candlelight cast dancing shadows across the walls, creating an atmosphere ripe for storytelling. As the storm raged on, my friends and I took turns sharing our most chilling experiences, each tale more spine-tingling than the last. When it was my turn, I recounted a time I had gotten lost in the woods during an afternoon hike. As dusk fell, I heard branches snapping and felt a presence lurking just out of sight. My heart raced as I stumbled upon a tattered old journal buried beneath a fallen tree. The pages detailed a series of eerie encounters with something unseen, its final entry abruptly cut off mid-sentence. The realization that someone else had shared my fears, only to vanish without a trace, sent a shiver down my spine. As I finished my story, the wind howled louder, making us all jump, reminding us that some tales are better left in the shadows. Number 17. While exploring a quaint coastal town, I became fascinated by an old lighthouse that stood sentinel on a rocky cliff. Its weathered facade and tales of shipwrecks drew me in like a moth to a flame. Determined to uncover its secrets, I approached the lighthouse, which loomed against the stormy sky, its light flickering as if beckoning me closer. Inside, I discovered dusty logbooks filled with entries from keepers past, chronicling their lonely vigil and encounters with mysterious ships that vanished into the fog. One entry stood out, recounting a stormy night when a ghostly figure appeared at the water's edge, pleading for help before fading into the mist. My heart raced as I read the chilling account, and I felt an inexplicable connection to the place, as if the lighthouse itself held the sorrow of those lost at sea. As I left, the wind whipped around me, carrying the echoes of their stories, reminding me that some places are steeped in history, whispering their tales to those willing to listen. Number 18. One evening, I attended a local art exhibit that featured works by emerging artists. As I wandered through the gallery, I was drawn to a particular painting that seemed to pulsate with energy. The vibrant colors and abstract forms captivated me, but it was the artist's statement beside it that truly intrigued me. The artist spoke of channeling emotions through their work, capturing the essence of human experience in every brushstroke. I found myself lost in thought, reflecting on my own struggles and triumphs, connecting deeply with the artwork. As I continued exploring, I overheard whispers of a mystery surrounding the artist, a series of strange occurrences linked to their exhibitions. Curiosity piqued. I sought out the artist, hoping to learn more about their creative process. What I discovered was a captivating narrative of inspiration and heartbreak, blending art and life into a tapestry of shared human experience. By the end of the night, I left not only with a new appreciation for the artist's work, but also a reminder of the power of storytelling through art, where every canvas holds a universe of untold tales. Number 19. Late one summer evening, I found myself wandering through an old cemetery on the outskirts of town, drawn by an inexplicable urge to explore its weathered tombstones and lush overgrowth. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming wildflowers, creating an atmosphere that felt both serene and eerie. As I meandered between the graves, I noticed one stone that stood out, a towering monument, adorned with intricate carvings of angels and vines, its surface worn but still striking. Curiosity compelled me to read the inscription, which told the tale of a young woman who had lived in the town long ago, known for her kindness and tragic fate. Intrigued, I searched for more information, engaging with locals who whispered stories of her untimely death and the lingering presence felt by those who visited her grave. As dusk settled, I couldn't shake the feeling that the stories had imprinted themselves on the very stones, connecting past and present in a tapestry of memory. Leaving the cemetery, I carried with me a sense of reverence for those who had come before, reminded that every life leaves echoes that resonate through time. Thank you for your attention. You can now become a member of the channel by clicking the join button under this video.